but we're staying next door to a 90-year-old woman, and her roof just flew off of her house, and we know that she's in that house. Right now, we can't even respond to her. Hopefully, she's in a strong part of the house.
That was probably one of the busiest in all of the time that I've been in emergency services.
The water is steady rising in the attic, ma'am.
He's in the bed. That water is coming up.
I'm inside the location with you.
Just calling 911. Yeah, I need to find out if the eye has passed yet. We are up to our waist in water. Where are you at, ma'am? 911, what is your emergency? My window is busted. My window open and my window is my room is open. I'm sorry? A tree or something busted through my bedroom window.
It is something that is a deadly situation, and we need people to certainly listen to what's the guidelines from emergency management personnel.
Flooded really bad. I'm trying to be here in water.
Where are you?
Don't know when the next hurricane's going to strike, don't know where it's going to strike, but I do know this. Now's the time to make sure you know what hurricanes mean for your community, what the threats are, and how to protect yourself and your family against these storms.
We try and prepare for all sorts of emergencies and trauma alerts and everything else that we can deal with. But the hurricane season kind of triggers that 6-month period that we need to really be aware, and that's the game plan, is to prepare the public and what to look for, how to respond, and deal with the storm themselves if they can.
The communication systems seem to be the first thing to go during emergencies. So that's why we ask people to be prepared locally meaning at each home, because oftentimes the lifeline to get to outside help may take longer than you're used to. Being self-sufficient, if you're unable to go to the store any longer because the store has been impacted by the storm or damaged, you'll have to have supplies in your home. That's why we talk about, you know, having 3 days worth of food and things like that, and water. So we're very cautious not to become complacent when we have slow times. The last several years have been quite slow for tropical storms, but we know how quickly that can turn around and change.
The big desk that I stood in front of, we all stood in front of for days and days on end, was specifically designed for doing continuous weather coverage. Everything that we need to do for on-air purposes, all the radars, all the computers, everything, we can control from right there. And what's the time frame on that, Eric? What is that, about 10,000 feet, Jeff? This is Justin Mosley from the National Weather Service helping me out here in studio. Eric, can you do me a track on that? There were 9 of us. Everyone worked as a team. You know, we would assign certain people to certain tasks. And one person on our team, their entire job was to tell me how fast the storm was moving. That's it. Because we would actually go in and calculate to the mile an hour, 24 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, and I would adjust the storm tracks. And I think the #1 comment we got from this storm were people who lost power at exactly 8:15. Intercession City at 8:24. It is 8:18 right now, so 6 minutes away. Kissimmee, you're coming up. Kenansville, it is 9:31. You got 2 minutes. And that's when we would say the storm will be in your area at 8:15. They would look at their watch, and there it was, 8:15. So that was the first time we'd really been able to use that storm tracking ability to the degree that we did. It made a big difference for a lot of people. This is Brevard County right now. People want to know how much wind they were going to get where they live. So we had all these ideas of how to do it, having never really gone through it for real. But we had a good plan, and it worked out. Yeah, we'll put this into 3 dimensions for you right here. The technology that we used during these storms was greater than it's ever been before. Matter of fact, the company that was down here assisting us with our graphics that you saw in the air were writing computer code while we were doing the hurricanes to help make the imagery better. We were also coordinating with like over 20 reporters who were out in the field. We were trying to organize where they're going to be in relation to this, and that was probably one of the more difficult things we had to do, was to try to be as precise as I could be, and still having limitations to how precise I could get with some of this stuff.
The city goes through a preparation about 2 months prior to the hurricane season. It kind of goes through all our emergency plans. We also take a look at what we need to stockpile in the way of emergency supplies. And the key to everything is don't wait till the last minute. people need to be prepared.
And no matter what nature may bring in future hurricane seasons, you can count on WFTV, Channel 9, Eyewitness News, and Severe Weather Center 9. Coverage you can count on.